Hello and welcome to this week's Health Code. It's great to be back with you. I hope you've enjoyed the first two episodes of this brand new series. We've got a brilliant guest coming up for you tonight, but first we're going to talk about supplements. Now, supplements is a really fascinating one because some people literally spend thousands of pounds every single year trying to make themselves healthier by taking all these supplements that they have read and seen online are going to change the game. Well, there's a lot of inferior products out there for one. There's a lot of products out there that claim they're going to do X, Y, and Z. There's a lot of variations of the same thing, and most people don't look into that and figure out which products are actually worth taking. So take an example like vitamin D3. That's a supplement that is one of the most common ones taken. There's a lot of different variations, a lot of different strengths, a lot of different sources, and a lot of different ways to consume that. It's not just a simple blanket term, vitamin D3 is good for you and will do X, Y, and Z. So understanding where you're getting your supplements from, the companies that are making them, the ingredients that go into them, because again, that's another massive rabbit hole. The amount of unnecessary ingredients that go into these supplements, the amount of the capsules that are made of very toxic things, which do a lot of damage to your body. You need to be looking into things like that, understanding what products are good and what products are bad. And also, here's a key one, which I am very passionate about. If you don't have a map to what your body actually needs, you may end up spending hundreds, thousands of pounds that you don't need to spend just to feel exactly the same. As they used to say, you're going to be spending thousands to have expensive urine, which in a sense is pretty much what you're going to do unless you're getting the supplements that are targeting what your body is deficient in. Now, one of the brilliant ways to find out exactly what your body needs is blood work. I've done it twice. I did it a couple of years ago and I found it absolutely incredible. It gave you a real map to what your body actually needs, what you're getting from your diet, what you're not getting from your diet, what you've got too much of and what you're deficient in. And then you can tailor your supplementation routine to what your body actually needs. Back in the day before I did that, I was taking 10 to 15 supplements every single day. I was taking everything that I read, everything I saw an advert for. I thought, I'll try that. And before you know it, you're spending hundreds of pounds every single month. It wasn't sustainable. And I also didn't feel any different. So by having this blood work, it then gave me a real insight into what my body actually needs. I now take just one supplement every day, and it's Organised Nutrition, which is on the shelf behind me, which sponsors this program. I've saved hundreds and hundreds of pounds every month, and I've never felt more vibrant and strong and physically virile than I do today. Sometimes less is more. More doesn't always mean better, and I feel a lot of people are chasing this dream of feeling great without actually taking the time to figure out what it is that's going to make them feel great or make their body feel more vibrant. So blood work is a fantastic way to give yourself a starting point where you know exactly where your body is, exactly what it needs, exactly what it wants and what it's got too much of and what it's not got enough of. You can then tailor your program to be more specific and target it, and you'll start to feel better if you do that religiously and if you listen to what your body is telling you. What you'll also find, it's certainly what I found, is when you sit down and you examine that blood work and somebody will tell you and explain to you what different things mean, you'll have them describe symptoms to you that you're actually feeling. And they don't know that. They're just describing it based on the levels that you may have of different blood markers. Based on this, you probably feel a bit tired in the morning. Well, yeah. And I found that really insightful as well. And then I did it again after a year of changing my diet, and all the areas that I wanted to improve had improved, and all the areas that were okay remained the same. So blood work is a really fascinating insight to really understand what your body needs and what it is deficient in. There's lots of different websites out there that you can go to try and get blood work depending where you are in the world. All I would advise is you get the one that does as many markers as possible, as many different markers as possible. When you have one done on the mainstream health system, like here in the UK on the NHS, you're limited to 10 or so markers, really just the basics. The one I did had over 100, which really gives specifics as to what is going on in different parts of the body, and I found it incredibly helpful. Another thing that can also do is if you do that periodically, like I plan to do that every year, so I'll do it again in September this year, it gives you an early warning sign if there's any issues within your body. Quite often, if you get ill, the first time you know you're ill is when you start to have symptoms. But the symptoms are not the start of your illness. They're the start of it becoming obvious. Something's going on under the skin, something's going on behind the scenes well before symptoms begin. So blood work can act as an early warning sign as well if there's any particular problem. If you've got an elevated white blood cell count, for example, but you feel absolutely fine, that's your body telling you there's a problem somewhere, and it gives you that ability to go then and look further into that. So this is incredibly useful. I know many people think it's extreme to go and get blood work, but what it is it's taking control of your own health. As I mentioned just then, the first time most people understand they're ill is when the symptoms begin. By the time the symptoms have begun, your body's already in a state of sickness. If you get an early warning by keeping in control of your health, by being proactive, by taking the power back away from the doctors and putting it in your own hands, then you can try and stop yourself becoming sick before any symptoms begin. That's the dream, really. You don't want to get sick and react to it. You want to stop yourself getting sick in the first place. And by taking control of your health, then you can do that. To me, this is how the healthcare system should work. You should be in seeing your doctor once a year. They should do a whole load of tests, make sure everything's okay, look at your diet, look at your exercise plan, look at your lifestyle, and send you on your way. If doctors did that every year, maybe every 6 months as you get older, people would be less sick. Instead, people won't see their doctors for years, and then they'll go and see them when they're sick. In that gap in between, they might have done everything wrong, which has led to them getting sick at the end of the road. Proactive healthcare, not reactive healthcare, is the way to really change the direction of travel in terms of global health. And we know that the systems that are there to supposedly to keep us healthy aren't going to do that, so we have to be proactive and do that for ourselves. And one of the great ways to do that is to get blood work done. What it will also do, as I've said, is it will save you hundreds, if not thousands of pounds every year on supplements, because you will know exactly what you need to take. You will almost certainly be taking a lot less than you're taking right now. And as a result, the cost of the blood work will be counteracted by the money that you will save in supplements, and you'll feel better at the end of the road. So for me, it's a bit of a no-brainer. The supplement industry is full of so many inferior products. It's full of so many adverts telling you need this, that, this, that, this, that. Before you know it, you're taking vitamin D, K2, vitamin C, Shilajit, CMOS, ashwagandha, everything you can think of, and your bank balance is looking very, very low. You don't need to do that. You just need to get a map of what your body actually needs, and blood work can absolutely help you do that.